lovely.
You sound like it.
Do I? Why? What's wrong?
What's up?
So here's what happened. Okay, so I was working this morning, right? Not like a lot, but just on my computer at the hotel. And then I was like, okay, I'm done working. I'm gonna go to the store, grab some groceries. I haven't been grocery shopping in a while. It'll be fun. It'll be good. You know what I mean? And then I got done grocery shopping, and I came back and I laid down, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a donut. And I had a donut, and I laid down, and you were like, what are you doing? And I was like, nah, I'm just being lazy. What are you doing? And then I fell asleep. and then I woke up to your message that was just like, well, I'm waiting on you to record. And I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot we had to record today.
Yeah, because we didn't do it on Tuesday.
I didn't forget on Tuesday. You put it off so long on Tuesday that we didn't get to do it.
I literally kept telling you, like, when are we going to record? You said, oh, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. And then after we got back from dinner, you were like, oh, we didn't record.
Yeah, okay. You made me take you out to dinner instead of recording. That's on you.
Okay, but it was a really good dinner. And you were the one who wanted to go out.
What do you mean? I did not volunteer to just spend more money. I think that was you.
I literally thought we were just going to have like a little dinner at home or grab McDonald's or something, like something small and easy. And you were like, oh, let's go out. And I was like, we're going out tonight? What? Since when? I was not prepared. I didn't wear makeup or nothing.
I didn't wear makeup either, okay? I don't know why that's a big deal.
Don't worry, you still looked beautiful.
I know. I always do. But more importantly, do I sound all right? I got the new mic hooked up for the first time.
The mic sounds really good. I thought you sounded like tired or like you were getting sick or something, like so I was like, you probably did sleep.
I sounded tired? Oh man. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Although I was just asleep. So it's fine. Don't worry about it though.
Well, hello. Welcome back to Mindless Prattle, where we talk about things.
Rapuli, is that you? Is that your name now?
Rippley.
Oh, you forgot the H. It should be Ripuhlee. Rapuli.
That's my magician name. Well, so since you brought up going to dinner, we could start with the Texas Roadhouse experience. That'd be fun to talk about.
Go for it.
Okay, so we went to Texas Roadhouse, obviously.
When?
Like, I wanted a steak, but we didn't want to spend like a ton of money. So we went to Texas Roadhouse, and we walk in, and it wasn't really busy, which was surprising because it was like 5:30. We got there kind of at the perfect time. But Jordan goes up to the little podium and they ask, oh, how many people? We said 2, whatever. And then they tell us, I don't remember the exact wording. They just tell us that they want us to do this like survey, but like, what was the reasoning again? You explain.
I just said for 2 and they're like, okay. And then they didn't say anything. They didn't be like, okay, it'll be this long of a wait, or like, okay, follow me, I'll get your menus real quick, or like they normally say that sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. They both just looked at each other. These 2 dudes, they looked at each other, and then they looked down, and one of them grabbed something off of the register itself and a pen, and then grabs the ticket to go put it on like the table. And he goes, okay, can I have you guys do this survey tonight? I was like, sure. And he goes, it's just an evaluation of your server, and if you fill it out and bring it back here when you leave, you'll give you a little coupon for a free appetizer next time you're here. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Like whatever, I'm fine with it. And so they grabbed he almost forgot the menus. Like he started walking off, like, well, not the menus, but like what else did he grab? Something else, and then rolls. Like he forgot the middle step and then had to turn around, grab some more, grab the rolls, walked over to the table, sat down, and he handed me this the survey. But he then, like, as he was leaving, he's like, oh, try not to let your server see. We don't want him knowing that he's being evaluated. And I was like, all right, now you've just added like this clandestine bullshit to my evening. Like, what the fuck?
I told Jordan, I was like, you need to do it. I can't handle that. Like, I'm gonna give it away. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I will just give him 10
it was all super easy stuff. Like it was just like, did he mention specific drinks or like specials that they had, and then did he offer you an appetizer? It was like things like that. But I thought it was funny because the way that they put the score on there, like they put what each category was worth on there, which by the way, you probably shouldn't do if you're giving this evaluation to customers, because the top one was like 3 points, and it was like, did he offer you an appetizer? And then down at the bottom, it was like, did your server make you feel like a valued customer? And it was worth 1 point. I'm like, what the fuck is this grading scale? Like, why is offering me an appetizer more important to this fucking place than
Because they want you to
making your
spend
customer
money.
feel valued? I'm like, whatever, man. I don't know. I've also never been like persuaded to buy an appetizer when the waitress or waiter says to buy one. I've always either seen the appetizers and they look good and I'm getting one, or I'm not getting one.
Yeah, that's
like,
how I
they've never
feel
come
too.
over and when I'm like, oh, I don't want one, and they're like, you sure you don't want to try this onion? It's really good. And I'd be like, oh, okay, you've convinced me. No, I've never been convinced to buy an appetizer based on someone just going, would you like to try one? No.
No, never. Because like if you're getting an
Never.
appetizer, you're getting one, you know? And it's like you just wait patiently for them to finish their little spiel, you know, like you're gonna be polite, but like I know what I'm getting. Come on. Like, do other
No,
people not do that?
I just never care. Yeah, I've already decided. Like by the time they got there, I've already really decided if I want an appetizer and a meal or just a meal, right? Like you're not gonna persuade me to get an appetizer once I've already got there.
Well, and you know, our waiter was really nice actually, and he kind of threw me for a loop though, because I ordered this like key lime like alcoholic drink they had. It was kind of like a margarita thing, but desserty. And he goes, "Do you want a salt rim or a sugar rim?" And I was like, "Oh."
Which, by the way, is a very standard question when you order a frozen margarita. Like normal margaritas, yes, you get salt, but like frozen, you usually have the option of salt or sugar because it's frozen.
Well, I didn't think about it because it was like key lime, so I was like, oh, like sugar, right? Like I feel like that would be weird with salt. Like so, it just kind of caught me off guard. But he was really friendly about it, and he was like, oh yeah, you just get the choice. And I was like, okay, sugar, right? That should be the best. Like, But yeah, he was friendly. He was, you know, attentive enough. He didn't bother us too much, which I really liked because I hate that when like you're trying to have a conversation and eat your dinner and the waiter keeps coming over like every 30 seconds. Like, are you guys good? Do you need anything? My mouth is full of food, Patricia.
Well, the first question on that server was like, did your waiter introduce themselves within the first 45 seconds of you sitting down? Like 45 seconds? That's ridiculous. What if they're in the back? What if they're at the bathroom and they're washing their hands? I don't want them to wash their hands in less than 45 seconds. Go wash your hands, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, they're required,
45
and
seconds.
you're required to wash your hands for a minimum of 30 seconds in the food industry.
That's what I'm saying. Like 30 seconds, then you go over and grab food, bring it to another table, see that they've seated someone in your section. By the time you walk over to us, it's about a minute. Like 45 seconds, that's just ridiculous. That's crazy. Like if it's like 15 minutes, I'm like, no one's come over here, there's a problem. But like 1 to 2 minutes, I'm perfectly fine with sitting there and just having a conversation with you while we're waiting for someone to come over.
Yeah, and I mean, they got the rolls out pretty quick, and oh man, we were
Well, yeah,
smacking down on those rolls.
they bring them to the table with you now, which they didn't used to do. Like I think it just depends on if they have some available, like at the counter, you know.
Yeah.
Like, cause sometimes I've been seated and they don't have them. Sometimes I have. Like, I don't know.
I don't know,
still
but
think
those rolls are good. I want to go get some right now. Actually,
I still think that the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits are better.
I
still
really like
those
cheddar
better.
biscuits, but it depends on what I'm in the mood for, you know? Because, like, if I'm in the roll for, like, a good soft roll, like, I'm going to want, like, a regular roll. I'm not going to want a cheddar biscuit. But if I want, like, a cheddar biscuit, I want a cheddar biscuit.
No, I will always pick cheddar biscuits over those rolls, like, every time. Even if I sat down at Texas Roadhouse and they put down, like, a basket of rolls and a basket of cheddar biscuits, I'll be like, oh, they got cheddar biscuits here now? And I'll try them. You know,
I'd just be eating both at that point. And Jordan was amazed at the amount of butter I was putting on my rolls.
Yeah, okay. They give you 2 little pads of butter, and she's just like, well, they give you 2. You're supposed to use the whole thing. I'm like, girl, you're lactose intolerant. Stop. What are you doing?
It's just butter.
It's just butter. Like
it's
the worst
barely
kind
any
of dairy.
It's really lactose in butter.
Really, is it?
Yeah, you know, I once researched like what cheeses had the least amount of lactose, and my favorite cheese is very low in lactose. So.
Oh my gosh! You know what I just remembered? we got back from our trip to Vegas and I bought cheese and put it in the fridge and then didn't eat it. Son of a bitch.
No, I was seeing it in there and I was like, I don't think you
forgot.
intended to leave that for me.
I forgot it was in there. Well, the Parmesan is just for like pastas and things, like to grate it on there because that'll be really good. But like the other one, I was intended to snack on that night, and then we just didn't really eat that night when we got back because we got back pretty late.
Yeah, but man, I could have Texas Roadhouse right now. I'm really hungry, actually.
See, you got to do what I did and just snack in bed and fall asleep before recording. That makes it all better.
I'm not gonna name the place because I don't want to get these people in trouble. But I went to the bagel place today. And they always give me free food because they love me. And so I had a really good bagel for lunch, and I still have half of it. I really did eat enough.
Did you get that like garlic something cheese spread on?
Yeah, I got a garlic bagel with like a ton of meat and cheese on it. It was good. And yeah, I got some chicken thawing right now. I'm really hungry. I was moving around so much that like I had to make myself eat, and that's why I went to the bagel place because I knew if I got something good, I'd be more likely to eat all of it. But I was just running around so much and had so many things to do and work on today at work that I like didn't have a lot of time to eat.
See, and I was the opposite. I was sitting at the computer, like working all morning, and just forgot to eat. So when I went to the store, I bought a lot of stuff at Walmart, including a 50-cent plastic bowl because I walked by and saw that there was cereal on sale, and then I bought cereal and realized I didn't have any bowls. So
what kind of bowl? What does it look like?
It's like one of those cheap, like the gray plastic ones.
Nice.
It's a little bit wider than the ones that we have at the apartment, but I mean, it does the trick. Holds the cereal and whatnot.
The ones we have, I bought at like Target for like 50 cents each. So
yeah, I bought these at Walmart for 50 cents. Yours are like 18 times the quality just on those metrics alone. Between Walmart's brand of like here's the cheapest thing we can make and Target's brand of here's the cheapest thing we can make, pretty sure the quality should be pretty evident.
Yeah, I really trust Target's like whatever their like brand is. What is it called?
Now I don't know, but now that being said, the last time that you microwaved one of those Target bowls, it did melt. So it's it's really just up to how you use it, I guess.
I feel like I'm being stabbed in the kidney.
I almost broke our microwave. You're right. So we were making dinner the last time I was up, and I grabbed one of those little ceramic like sauce dishes because I was just melting some butter and some garlic and some sauce together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you looked over at me as I opened the microwave and you go, "Are those microwave safe?" Like they weren't yours. Like those were your bowls, and I was like, "I don't know, are they?" And you're like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "They're yours. You've never tried to microwave them?" And you're like, "I don't know." I'm like,
because they're from the ramen bowl set, and the ramen bowls are too big to go in the microwave, and I haven't used the sauce things for a lot.
So then you just look at me and you're like, "Are they microwave safe?" I'm like, "I guess we'll find out," because neither of us know. So I put them in the microwave, hit start, and it went, and I went, "Oh nope, not microwave safe those."
Yeah.
And took it out. Turns out I fucked up the microwave, like completely burnt out one of the I guess the microwave radiation control fucking plates in there.
Wave plate.
Which it was, the wave plate, which it was like a $40 microwave from Walmart anyway. But still, I was like, oh man, that sucks. Ordered a pack of them for like $4 on Amazon. Put it in and started it up. Works perfectly. And I was like, look at that. Don't have to buy another $50 microwave just yet.
Yeah, you know what? Like.
Okay, but those bowls definitely did not say that they weren't microwave safe.
No,
I'm just saying.
They didn't. But I think it might be the paint on them might be like metallic or something.
I mean, it's got to be because the rest of it's just ceramic, right?
I thought they were stone.
Well, yeah, stone ceramic. You know what I mean. Let me pull up the order. Maybe it's still in my history. I can.
Oh, I thought that your parents gave me that one.
No. Samantha gave you the big white one.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. But I think I got us those two smaller ones. Yeah, here it is.
Those are my favorite ones. So good job.
Ceramic Japanese ramen bowls. Yeah. It's ceramic.
What does the description say?
Bowl materials made of porcelain. Perfect size. These bowls are made of durable ceramic, lead-free and non-toxic, chip-resistant, handcrafted from thick, durable, and restaurant-grade ceramic material. Our large bowls are made to last daily use. Microwave, oven, dishwasher, and freezer safe. They say microwave safe on their listing page. I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah.
It definitely says microwave safe in this description.
And I looked it up, and it
what the hell's
says,
happening.
yes, ceramics like stoneware and porcelain are generally safe for microwaves. However, avoid microwaving any ceramic plates with metallic edges or finishes. I think it's got to be the paint on there, like that little design. I think it's got to be like metallic paint.
I guess because it's the this description's like, yeah, the ceramic's safe to put in there, but the paint we put on the ceramic's not. So good luck. Like it's lead-free, non-toxic, chip-resistant, microwave and freezer safe. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't trust them in the dishwasher either now, like, or the oven. Why would you put them in the oven? You heating up ramen? You baking ramen?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't like put anything besides ramen in there. I mean, wait, we put something else in there. What was it?
We made poutine, but that wasn't the big one. That wasn't in those little ones. I say little, but they hold 60 ounces. Like, they're fucking huge.
God, poutine sounds really good.
I'm trying to find some reviews. Can this go in the oven? They can go in the microwave, but I would not put them in the oven. Lies. Are these bowls microwavable? I believe so. All of these Q&A just
you should answer a question and be like, this broke my microwave. Do not microwave it.
Yeah, I put like the tiny bowl in there and it messed it up. That's so weird. I don't know.
Maybe I cursed it.
Where were these Look at this answer. Where were these bowls made? Answer: I don't know, but they look good. Thanks.
Well, I saw that apparently like Amazon will just randomly email people questions even if they haven't actually bought the product and be like, I ask a question and it'll have buttons you can press that'll be like yes and take you to like an answer thing or no, and then I guess if you press no, it'll have them answer like, I don't know, or no, or something like that. And it's like, that's very inefficient and stupid. I'm just saying. That's like the dumbest way you could do that.
Like, can you answer this question? It's like, is this take AA batteries? And you just answer, I don't know. Like,
so what have you been up to lately? Doing anything interesting out there?
Well, so I got a haircut before I came back down here because I needed to, right? Mm-hmm. And I went, Wednesday to get a haircut? And I was going to go Tuesday, but Tuesday was 4th of July, so they were closed, and I just completely forgot about it. So I went Wednesday morning. I pull up. There's no signs on the outside of the doors, nothing that says that they're open. I was just going into Great Clips because they're pretty quick, and they usually do a really good job, but all the signs were off, and I was like, "Oh no, are they open later? Like I got to get to work, And so I walked up, and I'm like reading the door, like with their temporary hours or whatever, and it says 9, and I'm like, okay, well it says they're open. So I go in. There's 2 ladies just like sitting there chilling because no one's in there yet. One of them, comes over, asks for the phone number, does this and that. And then she proceeds to give me the most like aggressive and violent haircut that I've had in like a long
Really?
Yeah, it was like, are you in a hurry? Like she was booking us through there. Like normally my haircuts, like they don't take long. They're normally like maybe 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. I sat down at like 9:03 and she's like, okay, does that look good? And I'm like, yeah, it looks good. And I went to go pay and I looked at my watch and it was like 9:08, 9:09. I'm like,
damn.
It was like 6 minutes, but I know why. I left there and I went to go shower to get all like little hair and stuff off me. And dude, she cut me like 3 times.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah. Like to the point where like she had to like wipe blood off because it was like she nicked me like 3 times.
Did you
like,
tip her?
Once behind the ear, once on the back of my neck, and then like one. Oh no, maybe it was two times then. So just the two. But she nicked me twice, and I was like, God damn. But it was super efficient because like it was kind of my fault and like mostly hers though. Because she's like, what brings you in? I was like, oh, I gotta get a haircut before I go into work. And she's like, you gotta go soon? I'm like, yeah, as soon as the haircut's over, I gotta go to work. And she's like, okay, we'll make it quick. Now maybe that was my mistake, but
she was like, I need an extra package.
I wanted speedy and like, you know, to
have
keep
your
my
ears
blood
intact.
like keep my blood would be nice too. But like the haircut looked really good for 6 minutes, and I was like, all right, 6-minute haircut, you know what, little blood, and I can't complain. It
did look pretty good.
Yeah, so I tipped her. I was like, you know what, she followed the instructions, and I was like, whatever.
You're nicer than I would have been bitching.
No, I mean, if they cut your hair, I mean, or your head, that'd be much different.
I
was
can't
just like,
even say that I would do that, because when I went and got my pedicure a few weeks ago, the lady was doing my cuticles, and she hella cut off like a chunk of my skin from my big toe. Jordan, it hurt so fucking bad. I was like almost in tears, and she was like just like quietly putting a little alcohol wipe on it to like stop it from bleeding, and like looking up at me to see if I noticed. And I'll tell you,
if you noticed the pain.
No, I put up a good front, right? No, I was in so much fucking pain. You would not have been able to tell. I was just like looking off to the side and like clenching a little bit, like but I didn't say a fucking word, and it like scabbed over and everything. It just healed up actually. And I was like, oh, damn, I'll have to wait a while to get another pedicure because I can't go back in and get that shit infected. But I didn't say a word, and I still tipped them. So
yeah, I know. That's what you're always like, I wouldn't tip them. I'm like, you would. You always tip people.
I do.
No matter what. You're like, ah, that's terrible. Even when I'm like, I'm not tipping, this was terrible. You're like, they're doing their best. I'm like, no, they are not. But I was leaving Great Clips, right? And you remember how like 2 seconds ago I was like, yeah, I'm in a hurry, I gotta get to work.
Mm-hmm.
This was worth the delay. I had like a 2-minute delay just because of this wonderful specimen, this person. I walked outside, and the Great Clips is right next to a Jimmy John's. And
I love Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's, not being, you know, a 9 a.m. sandwich place, doesn't open. They didn't open until like 11, I think. Yeah. And so this guy, like I walked out, I was walking towards my car, and I parked in front of the Jimmy John's, not the haircut place, because I was like, I forgot their name all of a sudden. The haircut. The haircut place, yeah. But I was walking over there, and I noticed, and he's just staring at the door. And I'm like, he's not looking like at the times or anything. He's literally like staring through the glass door, like into the restaurant with all the lights off, no one in there. And I was like, I'm gonna go get involved in this, see what's going on. Cause he was tapping his foot. He was like looking left and right. He was staring inside. And I was like, something's going on with this guy. Like, did he get locked out? Did they poison his sandwich and he's waiting for the antidote? Like, what's going on here? So I walked up, and I casually introduced myself into the conversation of him staring at the door. I said, "They open yet?" And he turned to me. He turned to me, looked at his watch, looked at the door, looked back at me, and he goes, "Well, I'd be in there if they were open." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, that's true. But, what are you doing out here then?" And he goes, "Well, I'm waiting for them to open." Like,
isn't it like 9 a.m.?
I was like, you got me again, bud. So then, third question. I'm on a roll at this point. I said, what time they open? He goes, looks like 11, but I'm betting they'll get here sooner. It was 9:15.
Oh my God.
I was like, are you standing there for the next hour and 45 minutes? What are you?
Was this man perchance white?
He was white. He was wearing a sweater vest. It was almost 100 degrees. Actually, it was 9 a.m. So on that day, it was only like 90 something. But still, I was like,
yeah, pretty hot.
Man's wearing like a full, like dress pants, dress shoes. He's got like a long sleeve shirt and then like a sweater vest on over it. And I was like, you're just gonna wait for over an hour and a half for the sandwich shop to open?
Yeah,
And I was like,
and no, because what he's gonna do then is they're gonna get there, and then that man's gonna stare at them while they're doing their opening procedures, which will likely be 30 minutes.
yeah. Like they're gonna get there at like 10:30 and like do their prep to get started for the day. Yeah. But this is the best. This I still had more conversation to go with this guy. I was like, okay.
You're like, I'm in this now.
So I was like, it's 9:15. He goes, yeah, I know. I have a watch. And I was like, this guy, I love this guy right now. He's amazing. Like, I'm just pointing out things, and he's like, I know. I'm like, all right, man, whatever you want.
And how was he saying it? Was he just like friendly and like casual about it? Like,
No, he was saying it just as a normal conversation. I was like, it's 9:15. I said, it's 9:15. He goes, yeah, I know. I have a watch. I'm like, all right.
that's even better.
And I was like, he wasn't aggressive about it. He was just waiting for a sandwich. And I was like, okay, man. And so
Me too.
I said, it's 9:15. He goes, yeah, I know. I got to watch. And I said, okay. So at this point, I was like, this man knows like the secrets of Jimmy John's. Like, there's no reason to be standing anywhere for a sandwich for an hour and 45 minutes unless you know that sandwich is going to be like fucking orgasmic, right? Like, you got to know. I was like, this guy's got the inside scoop. I was like, all right. I said, what do you normally get here? He goes, a sandwich. I was like, I was like, all right, don't give up your secrets that easy. I see how it is. Gonna need to get on a name by name basis, a
What
first name
happened
basis.
was you walked up on an autistic man waiting for his favorite sandwich shop to open up, and he was not having it.
Dude, it was the best conversation I had. And I was like, he said, a sandwich? I said, yeah, me too. He goes, that's good. They got good sandwiches. This is my favorite conversation of the day so far. I'm still bleeding, mind you. Like, there's blood like dripping down my head. Like, I can feel it. I'm like, okay.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
worth it. I said, what do you get on your sandwich? He goes, I don't know. Today I might try one of the meats. And I was like, do you normally not get a sandwich with meat? Like, what? I was there for a full like 15 minutes just talking to this guy because it was just fun. And I was like, all right, man, cool. Like, I just asked questions and he just gave like straight answers, nothing else, no context. And I'm like, we're playing 20 questions about sandwiches right now, and you're not telling me what kind of secret sauce you order to get them to be so good. Eventually,
I wish I had memorable questions or conversations.
conversation. Well, I wrote it down because right after I left, I was like, I'm gonna talk about this dude on the podcast. And I wrote down, what was the note that I wrote down? I wrote down, the secret to Jersey Mike's: stand outside for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, that's what I wrote. That's the note that I wrote
Oh, it was
down to
Jersey
remember the
Mike's, not Jimmy
conversation.
John's. That's less exciting.
Was it Jersey? Oh, yeah, Jersey Mike's. Did I say Jimmy John's earlier?
Yeah.
My bad.
I really like
it was-
Jimmy John's.
It was Jersey Mike's. That's my mistake. But yeah, he's standing outside Jersey Mike's, and I was like, dude, this guy. I don't remember what sandwich he was going to order, but I like one by one got him to list the ingredients. And at the end, I was just like, what is that, like a number 3? And he's like, yeah, I think it's their number 3. I'm like, so you just get like a regular sandwich here at Jersey Mike's, and you're waiting an hour and a half now for this? And he's like, it's my favorite sandwich. I'm like, all right, that's fair. I was like, I got to get to work. And he's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, all right, bud.
Okay, bye.
Don't fucking lie. He said, yeah, me too. I'm like, nah, you waiting for 2 hours for a sandwich?
You know, I went to Jimmy John's yesterday, and this is gonna sound so silly, but I always see the same girl there because I usually go about the same time of day, and I get my little sandwich or whatever. And she's really nice, first of all, because she let me know that the sandwich doesn't come with cheese. And she was like, "You want to add cheese to that?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to add cheese to that. What the hell is a sandwich without cheese?" Sad. That's what it is. But I was kind of like, I had just gotten out of this really long meeting that I had told you about. And like, we had talked for so long, like it was like 30-40 minutes past the time I was supposed to leave, and I was fucking hungry, and I had worked like 13 hours, and I was so tired. And lady just I just wanted to say I really like her, because like, she asks me how I'm doing, and like, she actually will, like, she cares, she listens to the answer, you know, and like, just has like a little conversation with me, and then tells me to have a great day, and I tell her to have a great day. And it's just really nice. And I was thinking the same thing while listening to you tell that story, because it's like, a lot of people don't stop to like talk to each other and just have a conversation just for the hell of it, just for fun. Everybody's always in a rush, and I really liked going there. It made my day a bit better to just have somebody like really listen to me talk for a minute and not make me feel stupid for actually giving her an answer. And be like, yeah, today was kind of a long ass day. And like we talked about work for a little bit, and
Wouldn't it be awful though? You're just like, today was a really long ass day, and she's like, so do you want cheese or no?
yeah, well, I wouldn't have said anything if she hadn't like initiated, because most of the
Well,
time I
yeah,
go
I
somewhere
don't walk
and they're
in.
like,
I don't walk in places and be like, today was a long day. Sandwich now. Like that's not how I.
well, because like I'll go
that's not how I
places
do.
usually and they'll be like, oh, hi, how are you? And then I'll be like, oh, good, how are you? And they're like, what can I get you? Or usually at work when I'm the one taking the order, I'll be like, hi, good morning, how are you? And they're like, tall coffee. I'm like, okay, any cream or sugar? No.
All coffee.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth,
Ooh.
trying to, and sometimes I make a joke about it. I'll be like, I know, I'm sorry, I'm asking you like 20 questions, but I just want to make sure I get it right for you,
No,
but
I do terrible with customer service. Like if
I
I don't
know.
need to, like if I was at Starbucks, we've talked about it before, but I'd be like, hi, where can I get started for you? Like I'll always start off friendly. I'll just respond to your bullshit with more bullshit, and then we'll both get in trouble. Like I'm like, hi, where can I get started for you? And they go, tall coffee. And I went, black like your soul? Like, that's the answer. Like, that's not.
One time,
I'm like, hi, how you doing? They're like, good, coffee. I'm like, yes, this is a place where you order coffee. What kind would you like?
I surprised this guy. He ordered he was like, I'd like a tall blonde. And I said, me too. And it caught him off guard. He laughed.
I'd be like, where we can find some? Like, want to go to the bar later? What's up?
That was actually a really long time ago, like 4 years ago, I got my first and only write-up ever. And it was really like emotionally distressing. My district manager was there, my store manager was there. But I went to the bar like right outside my job or right after work. Like I was that upset. I just went to a bar alone and had a drink. But it was really awkward because I saw this regular customer there who always like hit on my other barista, and like he like waved at me like he wanted me to come over and have a drink with him, and then I just like paid my tab and left.
He waved at you and you went, no, we're closing this out. I gotta go.
I had literally been sobbing my eyes out, like I was not in a place to talk to people. I was so upset because I'm not a person who just goes to a bar to drink. I'm not that kind of person. Like I don't go to places like that without friends. But I was that fucking upset that I sat at the bar itself because I always used to sit in their little chairs and chat with Chelsea.
If I'm drinking like that, it's gonna be at home because it's cheaper. Like you go to the bar to drink, I go out with friends to do that because it's more exciting and it's an experience.
Yeah, it was like one of those situations where I was like, I'm not ready to go home yet and like talk to anybody or deal with anybody, and obviously my job is closed, so I can't go there. But I was pretty fucking heartbroken. But it's okay because actually I realized like going through that has made it to where I can give some really good advice to my team. When I'm having issues with them or noticing issues that they're having, I can be like, you know what? I know exactly how this feels. Like I don't usually just like write people up. I always have a conversation with them to see if I can fix it first. Because I know how it feels to be blindsided by that with someone who never like tried to work on an issue with you. So I always go to them and talk to them about it first, and I give really good advice, and I know what they're going through because I had to go through so much bullshit.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do too. Is I'm always just like, hey man, what happened? Like, why did you fuck up? And they're like, oh, this is happening. This is happening. I'm like, all right, man, we'll work on it. But you do it again, we're gonna do the write up because this is not acceptable.
Yeah, I usually what I always do is I see if they're willing to take like an action. Like, hey, this is the problem. Like, how are we gonna fix it? Like, what are we gonna do from here to make sure this doesn't happen again, kind of thing. And if they can tell me like, oh, I think I'm gonna do this and this, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that sounds great. Really appreciate the effort. But if they're just kind of like, I don't know, it's like, okay. Like,
yeah, it's always just like, what are you going to do to figure like, it's great that you're like, oh yeah, that was dumb of me. Like, that's nice. But like, what, like, I know it was dumb of you. You know it was dumb, but I need to know what you plan to do going forward so that it doesn't happen again,
Yeah. It's especially hard on me because I'm so sensitive. And it's like Like I always, whenever I have to have a tough conversation with someone, I'm always like shaking like a fucking chihuahua, just like you know. And sometimes I even tell them, I'm like, this is really hard for me to have this conversation, but we have to have it, and like here's why. Like here's what I've noticed. Like what are your thoughts, type of thing. I'm really honest, and I find that goes a long way with most people.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't lie to them. I mainly am just like, here's the things you fucked up. Going forward, you need to fix it. If not, here's the actions that are gonna happen. Like, here's the punishment. Moving on.
Yeah, I'd say there's only like one time where I've been like angry enough where I couldn't like deal with it in the moment. That doesn't happen very often. I don't get angry a lot, like long term. Like I think I'm prone to like quick bursts of emotion and then it's gone, you know? But if I stay angry, it's usually a problem.
You only stay angry at me, so it's fine.
Or I mean, like, you know, like a few months ago when I had that really big issue with my supervisor, I won't go into detail because obviously this is a public forum, but I had this really big issue and like they were so disrespectful to me that I literally barely spoke to them for 3 days. Like other than was required to be polite.
I gave them the silent treatment.
Not the silent treatment, but
it
like
was.
no, like other than what was required to be polite, because he knew he fucked up badly because he kept trying to come over to me and ask me questions like, how are you, like what games are you playing recently, and all this sort of stuff, trying to like get like cozy with me. And I was just very polite and I was like, oh, I'm good, I haven't been doing much lately, like, you know, like just a little short, but like keeping it professional and related to work mostly. And then like a few days later when we had the time, then I addressed it and I was like, here's why I didn't. Like I needed to make sure I was in my rational, calm mind and not just reacting like he had done to me. But when I'm angry like that, I know I need to chill. You know, I know I need to take a moment. Got that from my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Did you though?
Yeah, my mom's like, that's a lot of it is why I have like such bad like emotional control. Like my mom, when she gets angry, she's the silent treatment. She's don't talk to her for 3 days. She's screaming, cussing, like she's fiery. And so I did not know how to communicate at all. I didn't know what normal functioning relationship communications look like. Like I'm so thankful you're patient and like have been willing to learn and grow with me. It's been really cool.
Speaking of learning and growing, you have been pretending to be a wizard for the past few days. How's that been going?
So it's actually been really fun. I was
How does it feel to be a hypocrite once again?
Listen. So we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy, which I said I did not want to play because I don't want to give money to J.K. Rowling and I don't like J.K. Rowling. But it was on Steam sale, a pretty good discount, and I have like I'm LGBTQ, my friends are, and they were playing it, so I started talking to them and just basically asking like, you know, like why were they okay with it? Because I had only seen like this microcosm of people on like Twitter who were like boycotting it and angry and saying that the game had like racist themes in it and stuff like that. So I was like, of course I don't want to support that. But it is honestly completely not like that. It is very different than what I expected. Like reason being, people said it was racist. They said, oh, the goblins are the villains, and that's like goblins are like the Jewish people, and that's terrible. So actually playing the game, they say it right out. Your character asks in a cutscene like, are all goblins bad? Like, why are these people doing this? And the guy is like, no, it is just this one guy, this one dickhead is basically the Voldemort of the game. This one goblin dude is very evil and he's working...
The Voldemort of the goblins.
Yeah, basically. And he's working with another, like a regular wizard who's also really evil. But then there's also other goblins in the game who are like, you know, normal and friendly and helpful. And like, they're not demonizing all of them is what I'm trying to say. So that was my bad. I just took it from like the internet's point of view and I should have like done more research. There's also a transgender character in the game.
You're just like, I've read reviews and they're all say it's transphobic and homophobic, so I'm not gonna do it. And you're like, okay.
And there's a transgender character in the game. There's a lot of diversity in the game. My favorite character is Natty. She's from Uganda. Her voice is so lovely, and she's got such a cute character design. I really like her hair and her freckles. She's got like a short buzz cut and like really deep, rich brown skin. It's really pretty, and she is like a companion you can have and go do quests with. I really like her. She's either a Gryffindor or a Ravenclaw. I can't remember. I'm a Hufflepuff. Of course I am. And you know what I learned, Jordan?
What did you learn, Jordan?
Only Hufflepuffs get to go to the prison of Azkaban.
Only they're the only ones that go to prison? Is that what you just said?
It's like a special quest, I guess. But only if you only get to do it if you're a Hufflepuff.
Do the other houses go do other, like, do they all have one special quest that you can't do?
I'm not sure. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Shelby just told me, and I was like, yay!
Interesting. I'm trying to look at it on Xbox, but I don't. Is it on Xbox?
I don't know. I know it's on PS5. And Shelby says it plays way better on PS5. I think it's like
Hogwarts Legacy.
It definitely seems like it's geared for a controller.
Does it?
I'm getting used to the controls, but like I was really struggling. And then yesterday I was fighting a troll and it killed me like 3 times. And Shelby like started watching me and she's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I literally don't know. I'm doing what it tells me to do, and then I'm just dying." And then she's like, "Oh, that symbol means this, not that." And I'm like, "It literally never said that. Like it
what?
It never explained. It just told me to start doing things." And I was like, God, like that was so much easier once I knew the right thing.
Let's see.
But I've really been enjoying it, and I love my wand.
What is the difference between regular and deluxe edition?
The deluxe edition comes with the dark arts pack, the dark arts, and then like a special like outfit and like quest pack and stuff like that. I chose to go with that one because it was like a $5-6 difference or something like that, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna spend this money, I might as well pay $55 instead of $49.
Yeah, right. Go on Xbox's store, see what I can find. Games, console games, shop games. Yes. Okay, we're on the right track.
And then for those of you who are like on Pottermore or the official Harry Potter website or anything like that, you can transfer in like your sorting results and your like wand if you created one. I just made my own. It's got a phoenix core, and it is I forget what kind of wood I chose, but it's 11¼ inches long, and it's black, and I have like a little silver handle on it.
On me, huh? Nice.
But okay, so you could. I think you could. I can't remember how big you could go up to. It was like something crazy. And I asked Shelby, I was like, "Oh, what did you choose? Like, how did you choose?" And she goes, "I just went with the biggest one for the lulz."
The biggest one. You gotta get the biggest stick, otherwise it's useless.
But I was like, my character's kind of a small person. I feel like that would be way too big to hold for someone that small.
Digital deluxe edition, $70. 72? What? Why is it 72? But then on Xbox's website, it's 80. I don't understand these. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know. The problem is
on Steam right now, the regular edition is $47.99, and the special deluxe is $55.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait and see if it goes on sale on Xbox and then grab it sometime later.
It has an anti-cheat thing in it, and I don't understand why, because it's not like multiplayer.
Yeah, I was about to ask if it was multiplayer. I didn't think it was.
Yeah, so I saw that and I was like, that's interesting. Oh, I fixed the stuttering too, because I had a bit of a stuttering issue. I like played around with the graphics and stuff.
You didn't have to download something? I thought you said you had to download.
No, that's what everybody online was saying. But then when I went into like Reddit, where people had asked about the issue, people were saying you're just gonna have to wait for a bug fix because like all these solutions people are saying work don't. For me, I didn't have an update for my graphics driver or anything, so I just went and started playing around with just different settings, and I was able to keep most of them on high. But it was like I think some of like the shaders and the way that they load things is like incredibly taxing. When I was reading about it, somebody said it uses like one core specific thing in your computer instead of like diversifying it across multiple different pieces. I don't remember what the specific thing was, but it was like really inefficient for a game to run this way, basically. So hopefully they fix that in the future, but I really enjoy it. And you've been playing Satisfactory.
Sorry. I'm reading about the specs, the requirements. It requires a 64-bit processor, at least Windows 10, Intel Core i5 3.3 or AMD Ryzen 5 1400, 16 gigs of RAM. Is that minimum? Or is that like...
That's the minimum. The recommended is like my computer is
What is
1080.
recommended? Oh man, I cannot spell. That's fine. Recommended. Yep. No, it's recommended for 16 gigs. Okay. No, shut up, Warner Brothers. I don't care. All right.
Yes, what I saw was people were saying it's really hard on your CPU.
Recommended specs. CPUs an i7 or greater. Yeah, the minimum's an i5, but the recommended is an i7.
I don't even know what I have.
I can meet the GPU and the DX storage. Yeah. It prefers an SSD, but it supports a hard drive. Thanks. Oh boy. You can only get 30 frames per second if you're playing off of a hard drive instead of 60 at 720p, not even 1080. Wow. What the Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what my processor is. I have an i7. Okay.
Yeah, I think my computer that I have, or my laptop, is an i5, so I don't even know if it'd be able to run it.
And I'm gonna be fucked whenever games start requiring Windows 11.
Why?
My computer can't.
Yours can't run it, right?
Yeah. It doesn't have like the right security thing. It's like a new thing.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll look at getting new computers. My computer will probably run it. I got a bunch of room to upgrade that computer, and I haven't been using it for like half a year. So
I think mine is good for maybe like
probably used up good.
It is, like I said, I'm starting to see like some issues with it. Obviously, I had to replace the thermal paste, but we don't know if that was because we tried to add that extra graphics thing or whatever. But my chassis isn't large enough for the new GPUs to go into.
Dude, most chassis aren't. Most of them are freaking huge. Those GPUs are huge now. I don't know why. Like, they're ridiculously large. I don't know. I've been playing Satisfactory this week because it was on sale.
Oh,
sorry. $16. Okay, what the hell was that?
I just, like, while you were talking, I glanced.
That's how it feels.
That's how it feels. I glanced to Steam. Mortal Kombat 11 is on sale for $5.
Yay!
That's really cool. I love Mortal Kombat.
Sure, I'm not the biggest fan of Mortal Kombat, so it's all you. That excitement is yours.
No, my gaming budget is done for this month.
Yeah,
and I'm
pretty sure it should be. Yeah,
I'm about to have like my student loan payment and then the power bill payment. But one of my student loans is gonna be paid off next month, just in time for my birthday.
Very exciting. Yep, time to add some new credit card debt because it's your birthday. That's what that statement meant.
I think I'm gonna try to get some friends to go to karaoke or something. I don't know. I'll see if Sam and Zeus still want to come up, even if like you're not able to come out.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. I should be able to be there. Well, I'll be there on the 4th either way. So like we can do dinner on the 4th, but the 5th and 6th, I think I have work. So
no worries. I'm so hungry.
So what kind of tattoo are you getting?
I don't know. It's been so long and there's so many that I really want. I don't know what to get.
All right, well, I'll get one, and we can try again with you next year then.
Shut up.
What? You're gonna miss your
I don't
window.
know what's happening on Indeed right now, but I've just gotten like 10 emails from specific people asking me to apply for their job.
You gonna apply?
No.
Well, then it doesn't matter.
None of them pay enough and like don't have good enough benefits compared to what I've gotten now. And then I told you I got that surprise raise, and now it's even worse. Like I'm looking at all these places, and I'm like, damn, now you're really not paying enough.
Now you're really not paying enough.
I did think my paycheck got a little bigger. I was
transfer though.
I don't know. It'd have to be like 80K plus or something to like
80K for you to transfer.
Oh, to transfer? Like,
yeah, I just asked what amount are you looking for, and you said 80. Like you're looking for a 20K. All right.
Well, I mean, if I was getting a new job, it'd have to be like a lot, because if I'm gonna do something that's just as stressful and like a full-time job, I would want to make a lot more.
Well, why are you looking for things that are just as stressful? Why are you not?
The thing things that aren't
mentality is
stressful
just
don't
like the
pay
things that
enough.
pay are stressful, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm so close.
I think they're all about the same amount of stress. You just have to learn how to deal with the stress better. I think that's the issue here. That's part of the key reason. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of extra stress that is unneeded from like your job now and most jobs in general. But knowing how to deal with that stress is part of the biggest factor of how you're gonna actually do in that job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was thinking about that today. Like, a lot of it, I think, is my organization. Like, I haven't been able to really like keep my calendar up to date at work and stuff. Like, we use Outlook and everything, and I've been so busy that I haven't been putting my schedule in my calendar or anything. And then, like I said, the past 3 meetings I've had with my boss, I had no fucking clue they were happening. She just showed up, and I was like, wow, I am very unprepared. So it's been rough, but I don't know if I can ever find the balance. Like, I'm trying so hard, but it's like,
it goes back to you caring too much. That's what it is. You care too much. No, you care too much about the things that you shouldn't, and it causes you to stress out when they've gone wrong or there's some unexpected factor.
That's true.
Just stop caring as much. That's what being down here, working down here's taught me. Like, oh, so and so lost a piece of equipment. But like, that does suck. Why did he do that? Like when I first got here, I'd be like, oh, great. Now I got to deal with this. But now I'm just like, so and so lost something. And I'm like, all right, well, that sucks. Moving on. Like, we'll deal
honestly,
with it, I guess.
I'm pretty good at dealing with like that kind of stuff. Like emergencies, great. Like I can handle that shit, right? Like I'm like, okay.
It's not even, those aren't emergencies. It's just things that come up that I just don't want to have to deal with. I'm like, well, now I got to deal with this. I'm okay.
I think for me, it's like the people part. But
yeah, people being stupid.
Like,
that's what
I told
hate.
my team this past week, I was like, the most important part of this job is the people that you work with. Like, that's who's gonna get you through every shift. That's who's gonna like be there for you when it's been a shitty day. At the end of the day, we need to treat each other right and like make sure that we're taking care of our team first before anything else. Because if we don't, sorry, my throat just like got weird all of a sudden in the middle of my sentence.
I think you're getting too emotional. It's okay. I'll finish it off. What gets you through the everyday is the connections you make, all the people around you, and the heroin you do together. Now,
no one's doing heroin.
Well, you don't have proof that they're not.
I hope that they're not. Heroin's not like a fun thing to try, you know? Like, it's not like, oh, hey, I think I'll go down to the bar and have a like a sip of heroin, you know? Like, heroin's life-ruining.
A sip of it? Who sips on heroin, man? You're so out of touch with your employees.
I don't know. I don't think you can drink
None
heroin. That's not
none of them sip, all right? They guzzle it. They guzzle it down every day.
I've already told them, I'm like, whatever the like hell you're doing, like in your own personal life, like keep me out of it. Like if you're doing all these crazy drugs, don't bring it to work. Don't talk about it at work. Don't mention it to me. I want plausible deniability. Not my problem.
No.
What your manager doesn't know isn't your problem.
Yeah, you'd say that until it becomes your problem when they're like, they were showing all these signs and you did nothing to help them. And then you're like, oh, I'm sorry, officer. I just didn't want to pay attention to it because I told them not to bring it to work.
Okay, because if it's not at work, it's not my problem. Like it's not my problem what they do in their personal time. It doesn't affect me. But if they bring it into work, then I'm
it affects you at work, yeah. And if it's affecting their personal life, it affects their work. Because people are terrible at separating the two, just like you.
I just what I mean is like, you know, like people doing fun drugs, like they're like recreationally and shit. Like that's fine in your personal life. Like if they're having an addiction problem,
if they're
that's
doing
different.
heroin.
No.
Okay.
Like I did,
Well,
I had one kid who he did tell me when I hired him, he was 17. He told me he was like, I was addicted to things. I'm sober. You know, like I'm looking for a job.
That is very different than actively doing it outside of work hours. All right.
Can you just let me finish my story?
Your story is so long and it drags on the same point over and over of like, I don't want to deal with it.
Then when I noticed after a few weeks, like he was going to the bathroom for really long periods of time. He had really glassy eyes all the fucking time and he was slurring his words. And so like I pulled him aside and talked to him about it. And he of course denied it. A few weeks later, he quit. Kid was probably doing drugs again.
Okay, but that's
What I'm saying is like
So
I deal with it.
that's against your moral code. But if he did heroin in the morning, came to work, worked all day, was just fine, then did heroin at night, you'd be okay with it?
I wouldn't be okay with it, but if I didn't know,
You just
it's not
said,
my
what
problem.
do you mean you didn't know? There's gonna be signs. There's gonna be
But
symptoms. You'd be
literally,
like,
the
why are all your
story I
teeth falling
just
out?
told you was to point out that if I can see signs and like it's actually a problem at work, then of course I'll deal with it and handle it. But if they're not
but if
showing
you see
signs, then it's not my
if
problem.
you see signs that their health is declining, but they're not using at work and not doing anything else wrong at work other than just like, I don't know, being tired or whatever, other health side effects, but they're doing drugs outside of work, then that'd be fine with you?
That literally doesn't even make any sense to compared to what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not talking about what you're saying. I'm talking about what you said earlier when you said if it doesn't affect their work, then I don't want to know. Like, that's what you said.
of course, well, because if somebody's coming to work tired and like they seem like they have a problem, of course I'm gonna ask them if they're okay. But people probably aren't going to be like, no, I did a bunch of drugs this morning and now I'm tired. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
So as long as you don't know about it, it doesn't bother you. Got it. I think all your employees should just not tell you things.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really not like a big deal to me. Like, if people are doing drugs in their personal time, as long as they're not doing them at work or being high and crazy at work, you know? Of course, like within reason. Like, I don't want my people being like addicted to like methamphetamine and shit like that, but
Sure. And then one day you're going to come in and be like, where's so-and-so? I'll be like, oh, they died of an overdose last night. And you'd be like, oh, no. Anyway, I'm glad they did it not while they're not here. Like, what?
no, of course I wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, but then when they come talk to you, like, did you know? And you'd be like, I don't know. He didn't show signs of it at work, so I guess he was fine.
Why
And
would
I'd be
anybody
like, "Well, you
ask me if
should've
I
known."
know? As a boss, it is not my responsibility to make sure that my employees are not doing drugs at home or being
It
addicts.
is your responsibility to
literally
make sure that
isn't.
they're healthy. What are you talking about?
It's not my responsibility to make sure other
I think
people
you
are
just
healthy.
don't care about your employees.
You
I think
literally
that's
just
what
told
it
me to
is.
care less.
No, I told you to care less about the dumb things that are happening, not care less about human life.
This
Wow.
conversation doesn't even make any sense because we're saying the same fucking thing. Like, if I notice an issue,
Yeah.
of course I'll address it. But if I don't notice it, somebody doesn't show signs, they don't tell me, I can't do shit about it. That's not my problem.
Mm-hmm. That's right. As long as you don't know about it, doesn't matter if they die.
Oh my god, let's move on. You are so frustrating.
Ripley says guzzle heroin in your off time.
Oh my god, no.
But don't show signs of it at work.
Wait,
then
hold
it's
on. Do you
my
remember?
problem.
You remember those old drug commercials? Do they still show those? Like "This is your brain on drugs" commercials, where they just showed like a fried
Oh,
egg.
I doubt it. I don't know.
Little did they know, my brain would eventually become a fried egg.
Yeah. I think the title of this episode is Mindless Do Drugs on Your Own.
No, don't
the-
don't do that. I do not condone illicit drug use.
Mindless, what do we want to call this one? Mindless Private Drug Time. Yep.
No, that sounds terrible. Why don't you call it like Mindless Sandwich Shop Guy?
Sandwich shop guy, he was not mindless. He knew exactly what he was there for, all right?
Mindless Bleeding.
Mindless, wait, I was bleeding from my mind. That's true. She was trying to make me dumber. She's like, let out some of this blood.
You
It's
know,
okay.
earlier when I was like, I feel like I'm being stabbed in the kidney.
I remember that. I moved on from that topic, though, because I didn't feel like there was anyone actually stabbing you.
I think I have a cyst, but it really did feel like somebody was stabbing me.
Well, was there a person there?
That's what it felt like.
Well, I'm just asking if someone was stabbing you or not.
No, but the cat is using her little bed. I haven't seen her get in it for a little while. She likes out cute.
That's because it's so hot out. I wouldn't want to get in there either. It's hot as heck in that blanket.
Yeah, I turned the fan on because I wanted to make sure she wasn't too hot. It wouldn't be an episode of Mindless Prattle without me talking about my cat.
Yeah. So we ordered stuff for my mom for her birthday, right? And that was on Monday on the 3rd. And her birthday is not till Sunday, till the 9th. So I was like, okay, it's got time, right? We ordered the thing. It said 4 to 7 day shipping. And so it was like earliest arrival is on the 7th. I got an email yesterday that said your order's been processed. We're waiting for someone to come and ship it. I'm like, what do you mean you're waiting for someone to come ship it? What does that mean? Like, let me pull up the exact email. It was very weird.
It sounds like it.
Not this email, that email. Not this email, that one. All right. Items, yeah, okay, here's what it said. It said, items in your order are packaged and ready for pickup. What? And I was like, I saw this email and I was like, okay. And I clicked on it and it says, the items that you have ordered are packaged and are ready for our delivery partners to come pick up. Why would you tell me this? What?
Just sounds like they sent that email to the wrong person.
I was like, shouldn't you have, no, it sounds like, I was like, okay, that's good. When will you give it to someone else to ship, I guess? Like, they're not the shipping, they don't have a shipping center, they just have someone else that comes and pick it up. Like, this is the DoorDash of packages over here. Like, what is happening? I thought it was a very strange email.
Taylor Swift dropped her Speak Now, Taylor's version album on yesterday. And I had pre-ordered the vinyl and I was really excited about it. Like, it is so gorgeous. It's like, I got the lilac one and it's like 3 discs. It's got like all this special stuff with it. It said it shipped out on like Tuesday, right?
Right.
Since Tuesday, it's been sitting in Idaho saying ready to be shipped. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean ready to be shipped? It said shipped on Tuesday. It said ready to be shipped.
I hate when that happens.
And I was
like,
just
you
watching
see
it
where
sit in Idaho. And today it said it shipped today. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm so excited for this one. Like,
girl, we need to get vinyls besides Taylor Swift, because then we can actually, like, I don't know, use it. Like, you don't ever use it.
I really wanted this album because I wasn't able to get it when
you really want every album.
Well,
don't even lie.
I wasn't able to get it when it came out because I was in middle school and it was when the recession was really bad. So I wasn't able to get this album like originally. So this is like the only one I've never owned.
Working through the recession in middle school? What do you mean?
Like, my parents couldn't really buy me like a lot of extra stuff.
I couldn't get it because there was a recession.
Like, the recession happened. My parents like got rid of like all of their stocks, their 401k, their retirement funds, my college funds, like everything had to go basically. So they like, my dad sold his midget, like, and then his Prowler, like he sold all of his dream cars he had because he liked to collect them and shit. Like, it was rough. So I was not getting the $13 Taylor Swift album when, they were trying to put food on it, which is understandable. But so I was really, really excited for this one, and so I'm like, just listen to it. I listened to it on Spotify.
My main point is, every time you buy these vinyls, you're like, I really wanted this one because, and then you tell me a long story, and they're good reasons. But following that, you're like, look how pretty it is, and then you put it on that shelf, and then I never hear any of them play.
I play them when you're not home.
Except when I bring up that you never use it, and you're like, well, fine, I'll use it. And like, out of defiance, yay! Like,
no, I use it when you're not home because I know you don't really like Taylor Swift that much.
Which is why I keep telling you, buy other vinyls that are not Taylor Swift. And you're like, yeah, but she has a new album. And I'm like, yay!
Like, I have the Guardians of the Galaxy album.
Yep, which you don't play while I'm home.
Mariana Grande.
Is, every time I show up, there's dust covering the record player.
I listen to it when I'm
like, it hasn't
doing
been
laundry.
When you're doing laundry.
But with each of the re-releases, she like releases a bunch of songs from the vault that she wasn't like allowed to release with the album originally. Yeah, like songs that she had written for the album, but then wasn't allowed to release with it. And there's a song called...
What do you mean wasn't allowed to release with it? Who's not allowing her?
Her record label. That's why she did all of these re-recordings, because her record label refused to like sell her masters when the like copyright came up or whatever. And she had all this music, so she's waited until like their claim on it expires basically. And then that's when she's releasing the new ones with all the extra tracks that she didn't get to release. And there's one on this album.
That's pretty cool.
I know, I really like it. It's like, it's an exciting thing. But there's a song called I See You on this album, and she was like 1920 when she originally wrote all these. And I know for sure, like, I 100% know why she wasn't allowed to release it. It is like the horniest song on the planet. It is literally just a song about being like in lust with somebody and not being like allowed to actually be with them. And I bet her mother was like, Taylor Allison
like,
Swift,
I see
absolutely
you
not.
Over there, rock hard. Like, what?
One of the lines is like, I see you, like, up against the wall with me, and stuff like that. Like literally just horny teenager thoughts, right? And I'm like, yeah, I can see why. Like, when she was they were basically cultivating like her good girl persona and trying to build her career type of thing, you know? I could see why they wouldn't let her release that at the time. But it's a great song. I really like it. And then she got like Fall Out Boy to feature on a song, Hayley Williams to feature on a song, and those are both really good too. So I have had a lot of fun listening to it.
Sorry, I just got the I'm glad you listened to it. You like the horny songs. No, I just got the lineup. There's a boxing tournament here in town tonight, and some of my soldiers are in it. They're boxing tonight.
It's fun.
Should be pretty cool.
I told you I was gonna go to that drag show yesterday, and then I had to cancel because I was so tired.
Yeah.
So my friend had texted me, like, she and her girlfriend were at the club, like, waiting for it to start or whatever. And she's like, oh, if you change your mind, me and Claire are here, like, come hang out or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool.
And then you blew them off.
No, I was already in bed. I got into bed at, like, 7 p.m. last night. I got up one time to grab a bunch of candy, and then I was just eating candy all night.
You didn't
and
make
watching
any food or anything?
Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like, no, I had eaten my whole Jimmy John sandwich. I was not getting out of the bed for fucking anything yesterday. Like, I got up to pee a few times. I made the cat come into the bed. I played with her little wand toy in there. Like, I was not getting up.
I've had days like that too, where I'm just like, well, I'm gonna lay down, and people call me and they're like, we're going out. I'm like, that's cool. That's a fun thing that you've just described. Anyway.
You know, I played like an hour of Harry Potter with Shelby on Discord with me. And after like that, I was doing, you know that thing in video games where you just get less and less interested and like your body starts receding because you're getting tired and you're just like, oh.
You mean just getting tired? What do you mean?
Yeah,
it's like, not just video games. It's just getting tired.
Yeah, it was like that.
Your body focuses
that
more
kind
on
of
sleep,
tired,
yeah.
where my body was like, no, you're tired of the video games. Let's go now. So I just went and laid down forever.
Forever.
Then I worked at 5:30 a.m. this morning. So.
I went to Walmart and I was hungry, and it didn't turn out well for. Well, it turned out well for like future me, but not for like health-wise me.
I hate you got all these steaks, and I feel like I'm not allowed to eat them.
Let me tell you what I got from Walmart, right? So like I told you about the bowl and the cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like,
cereal?
I gotta get some crackers. I got like the honey bunch of oats because I was like, I want some crunchy cereal. I got those, and then I got like 2 different types of crackers. I got like some Ritz crackers and some Triscuits, and then I got a pack of Oreos because I was like, I have milk, why not get Oreos? Because that's how buying things works. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I want some mini donuts, so I got mini donuts. And then I was walking by and I was like, but donut holes are on sale, so I got donut holes. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably get some like sandwich stuff while I'm here so I can have sandwiches. So I bought bread and meat, cheese, like a bunch of different I bought some what was it? Some like something ground mustard. I can't remember the name of it. And I put all that in and I was like, yeah, this feels like a healthy balance. Yeah, okay. Like one thing to make sandwiches for the next 3 days, and then 6 days worth of donuts and breakfast cereal. Perfect.
Nice.
Oh, and then I bought like 3 bags of chips because I wanted some French onion dip, but I didn't have chips. So
let me tell you, we already talked about the Ruffles thing and like how you took them because they were getting stale or whatever. But let me tell you, the visceral rage I felt when I opened the cabinet.
We didn't talk about it on the podcast, though.
Okay, so the other day,
was just on the phone.
I was like in bed, and I was like, oh god, I want the cheesy chips so bad. Like I was like, I want those cheddar and sour cream Ruffles that I have in the cabinet. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. I get the energy to get up, right? I go and open the cabinet, fucking gone, and I'm like, they're just chips. You can have Doritos. You love Doritos. Cool Ranch is your favorite. You can have the Doritos. But I was so angry, and I was like, I can't be upset about this. This is the dumbest fucking thing to be upset about. But I was craving those chips.
Now here's some background information. Those are my favorite chips. Like I will always pick those. They're the best. Now, second, those chips, like you have this fun tendency where you open a bag of chips and then you fear that they're running out, so you slow down your consumption so much that they go stale by the time you finish them. Okay, you do it with every bag of chips I've ever seen you open. In fact, there's a bag of Doritos in there right now that I know are stale that you have not finished.
I've been eating.
All right. Yeah, I bet you have. And so I like I was up there like 3.5 weeks ago, and I saw that the chips were open.
I swear I just opened them like a week ago.
And I swear to you, I promise, I saw that they were open. And so I grabbed a few out of the top, and I was like, oh, I wonder when she got these, because they weren't here the previous time I was there, right? Which it had been like 4 weeks since I've been up there. So I was like, oh, she got some chips. So I tried like 2 or 3 of them, and I was like, these are pretty stale. That was 3 weeks ago, right? So then we got back from our Vegas trip, and I was about to drive back down here to work, which is about a 4-hour drive. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take some snacks with me. And I looked in the pantry, and there was beef jerky that you opened a month ago and haven't finished. There was like some chips some like crackers that I bought you, some chips that I bought you, and I was like, I don't want any of that. But then I was like, oh, you know what? The cheddar and sour cream ruffles, they're still here. They're stale. Like I even tried a couple. I'm like, yep, still stale. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take these and snack on them. It'll be fine. So I took them and I closed the pantry, and then you called me the next day and was like, you motherfucker, you ate my ruffles. I was just getting around to eating those. I'm like, the bag was like a quarter of the way filled, and it was still stale from 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's very reasonable that you ate them. It's entirely reasonable.
It is reasonable.
But I am having like the worst period of my life this week, and I wanted those fucking ruffles.
I don't know why you didn't just go buy some then.
No, I think I'm gonna like air fry some chicken and make like rice and gravy.
I was debating getting one of those. You know how we were in Vegas? We saw my brother had that the little 2-plate little hot plate burner thing. I was debating actually getting one of those because I saw his and I was like, you know what? I would be able to cook if I put that in here. But then I thought, yeah, the hotel might be mad that I'm cooking on one of their dressers. Like, there's no actual counters in here, you know.
And I know some places don't like try not to allow those kind of things because it can be like a fire hazard.
I highly believe that this place would not allow it. Yeah, that's.
I know when we had dorms in college, they were really picky about that shit. They'd be like, we couldn't have anything but like the microwave and fridge or whatever that you bought from the rental company.
My dorm had a little burner. It was a little 2-burner electric stove, but you weren't allowed to have any other heated appliances. Like in the little agreement thing, it was like no heated appliances for cooking other than what's provided. And they're like, okay, thanks. Oh my gosh, it reminds me. I was in a hotel in Missouri I was in the barracks in Missouri for training, and I was there for the 5-month training, right? And they had a little kitchenette that you could, go to, but there were only 2 authorized appliances. You could use the microwave or you could use the toaster, and everything else was off limits. Like that was it. Those were the only cooking things. And if they saw you had a hot plate in there, they would kick you out of the hotel or out of the barracks or whatever it was. I was like, yeah, I guess I just won't cook then. Like whatever.
Yeah. College was wild. They had so many stupid rules like that.
I really enjoy cooking, and it's a shame because I think that one of the worst things, one of the most deprived things of being out here is just I don't have any chances to cook anything ever.
No, I love it when you cook for me.
And then I come home and I'm just like, what have you been eating? And you're like, oh, I made all these different gourmet pastas and things. I'm not gonna make them for you though. Your turn to cook. And I'm like, all right, I guess.
You call them gourmet, but like it's like a 5-10 minute depression meal. It's like I'll cook some angel hair pasta, put some milk and butter and a bunch of fucking seasoning and cheese in it. And I'm like, that's good for today.
Exactly. And what do I get? Donut holes from the clearance rack at Walmart because I walked past and they look good.
Yeah. But then if I'm like just okay, like I'm like, normal, I will usually have like rice and chicken.
Yeah, you knew it.
And I told okay, I'm scared to have steak without you.
You're scared to have steak.
Just like,
Okay, those 3 that I just got, those are huge. Those are like 2 to 3 meals for you. But I mean, you can still make them. Like,
I guess I feel like steak is special.
I mean, if you buy it regular, sure. But like those steaks are like $6 each. Like they're normally like they're normally $15 or $16, but I bought all 3 of them for $6 each. So I mean, like, you do you.
I do want to try using the cast iron.
That's fine. Just don't break it or drop it. You're worried about breaking the cast. You're gonna break it. I just mean like don't scrape it with stuff, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. We've been talking for a long time.
Huh?
We've been talking for a long time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was boring you.
No, it's just normally once we hit the hour mark, you start like telling us to like wrap it up and stuff. But
you're the one that always wraps it up. You don't have stories usually. This time you're full of rage about your chips and your, people at work doing heroin. Like
they're not doing heroin.
While you're a wizard off to the side, like, oh, I'm a wizard. You're like, that's the heroin talking. Like that's.
I think. Excuse me. My character in the game looks a lot like me when I was younger.
Creepy.
No, I tried to make her look like me.
Well, maybe leave with that part. I don't.
But how old are the 5th years in Harry Potter? Are they 16, 17?
When do you go to Hogwarts? Well,
at 11, I think.
Is it 11? Let's see. How old?
I just watched the movie.
To get into Hogwarts. Wow, why did it autofill?
That's sad.
Let's look and see. It's 9th century, medieval ages. What the fuck am I reading? No.
It's how old is Hogwarts?
The British school system for ages 11 through 16. So yeah, you start at 11, so you're 16.
Okay, yeah, so the character in the game is about 16 then.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, that's like the story. You transfer in as a 5th year, and everybody's like, that's so
transfer
weird.
From where?
Right.
Like, are there not?
No, like
where did you transfer
they
from?
just like sent you your wizard letter at this age, and then they like make
it just doesn't tell you where you transfer from.
Yeah, you just found out you're a wizard basically.
Wait, you just found out you're a wizard?
Yeah.
At 16?
Yep.
You weren't going to a different wizarding school? What? Oh, I was wondering about that. Okay, that was my question when you were like, I just got my wand. I'm like, if you transferred in, shouldn't you have a wand? Like, haven't you been a wizard for like 5 years?
Yeah,
like,
they give you like a basic one to start with, and then you get to go.
Oh my gosh. But like, imagine the repercussions and like the prejudice that every person you would feel, especially from those Slytherins, when you just show up as a 5th year transfer and you're just like, what's magic? And they're like, what the hell have you been doing for 5 years? Like, you don't know magic.
Everybody
right
like you walk past characters and like they'll whisper, they'll be like, isn't it kind of weird to transfer as a 5th year? And like shit like that.
Yeah, they'll just whisper it off.
And you have to take extra like tutoring.
You taking extra classes. They're like, we don't want you with the 11-year-olds.
Listen, so. I told Shelby yesterday, I was like, imagine you find out you're a wizard and you get sent to remedial wizard school.
They're just like, your powers were so weak, it took an extra 5 years to show up. So we're gonna we're gonna put you in extra tutoring.
And then of course you're like, you have all this natural magic, and they're like, wow, you're really strong. And I'm like, apparently, where the fuck did that come from?
Right, like, shouldn't have discovered this 5 years ago. Like, okay. Also, wasn't that the plot of what's it called? The first Fantastic Beasts? It was like, oh yeah, it's kids who have too much magical power and don't know how to use it. They turn into like the evil creature or whatever.
Oh yeah, something.
So like, if you made it to 16 without using magic ever, and you didn't turn into one of those, doesn't that just mean that you don't have a lot of magical power? So like, yeah. You're like, how did you get some? Like, how are people telling you you're strong? Like, you stealing it from other people? Like, what are you doing?
So, you know how you were showing me all those drinking things?
You got quiet there. How I showed you what?
Those drinking videos with the jokes.
Oh, yeah. The little like drinking games, yeah.
Can I tell you this joke, or are we gonna actually do that sometime?
I mean, either one, I guess.
Okay. So why don't vampires cause unwanted pregnancies?
Why?
Because they can't come inside without permission.
That's good. There's a vampire joke that's very similar to your construction joke from the other week.
Oh, what is it?
It was I was gonna tell you a joke about vampires, but it kind of just sucked.
I like that. I would lose that game because everything makes me fucking laugh. Like, even if I don't think it's funny, I'll still laugh.
I think what we're actually playing, I think it's easier to like try to not laugh until you like lose once or twice and you start drinking and you're like, oh no.
You're like, oh, now everything's funny.
Like, you guys are all so funny, and you're like, all I said was Farfignugan. I don't.
Hey, that's just funny. Ugh. Yawns are coming out.
We've been going for a while. Ripley's starting to get tired. You got anything else you want to say to the peoples?
Thanks for listening to us.
Well, that was my line, but okay. Well, as always, we appreciate you tuning in and listening. We are Ripley and/or Jordan, sometimes both.
Whichever you like.
This has been Mindless Prattle. We appreciate it. Once more, go find us wherever you find your podcasts. Although if you're listening to this, you have already found it. Go back in time and find it again. It's fine.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends to find it. That'll work out too.
Text them.
That's going to do it for us this week. I hope you had fun. I know we did. And we will see you next time.
Bye.